You're listening to the Pickaweb Business School, helping business owners get online, get found, and get more customers. With your host, Tony Messer.
Hi, welcome to today's podcast, and today we're going to be asking the question, how do you get your business online? And basically, there's just a few things that you need to get online, okay? Don't start worrying you've got to spend a ton of money or anything like that. The basics you're going to need to get a domain name. You're going to need some hosting. And you're going to need a website. Now with the website there's a couple of optional extras that I'd like to talk to you about, which is having a blog and just doing some basic marketing. But what I'm going to tell you here, you're not going to have to spend a ton of money on. So let's just quickly go through them in order. First of all, you're going to need a domain name. And you've got to think about your domain name. This is your internet real estate. So this, for example, is a .co.uk or a .com type domain name. Now there's loads and loads of different extensions out there, but what I always say to my customers is just take the .co.uk and the .com off the market. If you're a UK business, then I'd use the .co.uk as the main one because that identifies you as being based in the UK. If you're elsewhere, then get the .com. But I do like to get the .com just so that I take it off the market to stop somebody sort of what they call domain squatting, cyber squatting, as well it's referred to as. And what you can do is you can redirect the .com through to the .co.uk domain name. So if someone types .com by mistake, they'll go through to the .co.uk. That's called domain parking, and that's a free feature with the hosting plan that you get. Now, in terms of choosing the actual domain name yourself, don't feel that you're restricted by the registered name of your company. So in the UK, for example, you need to register with Companies House if you're setting up a limited company. So if you're in another country, I'm sure you'll have your own particular government regulated body or local body which will register businesses for you if it's a state or whatever it may be. But you don't need to have, certainly not in the UK, you don't need to have exactly the same company. So let's say, Mary's set up a new hair salon and she's registered her business as Mary's Hair Salon Limited. She doesn't then have to go and get Mary's Hair Salon.co.uk. She could if she wanted to, but she can feel, you can feel totally, you can get whichever domain name that you want to go for. So don't feel that you're restricted about that, okay? So next, you're going to need some hosting. And basically, hosting is where your website physically lives, and it basically it's hosted on a server which is permanently connected to the internet, and it's stored in an extremely secure facility called a data center. And that's the service, for example, that Pickaweb provides, one of the services that we offer. So you can get your hosting service all set up, and that's basically some physical space on a server that's a very powerful computer. So you get some disk space and you get some bandwidth so you can have network traffic in and out of your website. So you've got your domain name. At that point, automatically, when you register your domain name and your hosting, if you get it with the same company, it'll all be set up so it all points to your hosting space. So all you've got to do then is just get your website and publish it. And that's the next point. So you're going to need a website. Now you could go and get somebody to design it for you, or if you want to have a go, you can build it yourself. And I just want to quickly run through a couple of the options for you. Most hosting companies will offer you a website building tool. So this enables you to go in, create a website, a basic online presence, so you can have your logo there, you can create different pages, you can navigate around them, you can upload images, you can add text, all sorts of things like that. There's a fairly low learning curve, so quite easy for non-technical people to use them. The end results are okay. I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to say that they're going to win any design awards, but it's enough to get you up and running. But if you're a little bit more adventurous, or if you have the budget to get somebody to build your website for you, then I would recommend that you consider something like WordPress. And I'll do another podcast in more depth to talk about this particular subject. But just think about WordPress as being it's called a content management system, but basically it's a web design tool. And it's very, very powerful. It's got loads of features. it's extremely popular, and that's one of the real strengths of WordPress, is that it's not an exotic tool. So you'll always find a designer who will be able to help you at a reasonable cost to either build and publish your website or to maintain it. There's also lots of different types of software that they call plugins, which can work with WordPress, which will enable you to have lots and lots of really neat features. And just to give you an example of how powerful WordPress is, or how popular it is rather, they estimate that over 25% of all websites on the internet these days are actually built using WordPress. So if you choose WordPress, you're not going to have to change horses later on in the race. WordPress is something which will stick, which you can use for many, many years to come. It's a rock solid platform. So that would be my strong recommendation for you. And you can also buy lots of ready-made WordPress themes, or it's like a template, and that will help you to keep the cost down if you're just starting out. But also they look really good. They're not that expensive, so it's another really good option to go for. So you've got your domains, you've got your hosting, you've got your website set up. Two things that I would also encourage you to think about, if not immediately, then certainly within a few months of getting up and running. And that's to have a blog on your website and to have some basic online marketing for your website. So let's quickly go through those. A blog. Basically, a blog is a part of your website where you can add content on a regular basis, and again, this is something that I'll go into in much more detail in other podcast episodes. But for now, all you need to bear in mind is that a blog enables you to demonstrate your expertise, and Google will love you for that. There's lots and lots of research that's shown that websites that consistently produce content on a regular basis will get better search results in Google. That means Google will send more traffic to them, and it's to do with the fact that Google recognizes that you're an authority website, and it also sees that you're producing content that people are searching on, that people are interested in, so it will reward you. There's a lot more to it than that. I'm obviously simplifying it for you here, but definitely having a blog is going to be a good move for you in the long run. And WordPress, it actually started off as a blogging platform, so that's another advantage of using WordPress. You can very, very easily add it. It won't take you long to get your head around how to use it. And then finally, you need to do some basic marketing on your website. And this is often referred to as SEO, which is short for search engine optimization. And basically, this is the process of making your website, getting it to the stage that Google can understand what the content is about, and really giving yourself the best opportunity for Google to index your website and to send traffic to it. Now, in order to do this, you're going to need, SEO is quite a big subject, but the very basics that you need to understand is that you need to identify keywords. These are things that people are searching on when they're sitting there in front of Google looking for you. So if you're a hair salon and you're based in London, or no, let's think, in Basildon or something like that in Essex. So hair salon, Basildon, Essex. You need to make sure that that you've got those keywords in the code of your website, and they appear in different places. They're called meta tags, but also in the headings of your website, and also in the text and the links between the different pages of your website. So you just need to be aware that there's more that you need to do, and it all starts with keywords. I'm going to go into this in much more depth in other episodes, but I just wanted to make you aware that there's certain tweaks that you need to do. Sometimes small hinges will swing big doors, so you just need to make sure that you're thinking about search engine optimization from the very start. Okay, I hope you found that useful. I'm going to go into these subjects in a lot more detail, but that's just an introduction to make sure that you understand how to get your business online. Thanks very much. I hope you found that useful, and I'll speak to you soon.